What are your thoughts of going back, facing Iowa there now?
I'm excited about it. I really am. It's when I got the job, Coach Ash, offered me the job back Christmas Eve. It's the first thing I did. I said, hey, hopefully we get a crossover with Iowa early on, and to be the first Big Ten game that I'm coaching in the Big Ten is something I'll always remember. I told some people in Iowa City last night that, it's like going to coach against your dad or your uncles and Coach Morgan and all those guys. So for me, I'm excited about it. Like Coach Neiman, him and I are similar. He's got a boy playing, but same type of deal.
Do you do anything else different to prepare this week or to get ready?
No. The guys sitting in the room, those old linemen, our football players, they give me heck about it. But for them, it's no different preparation than any other week.
At the end of the day, it's about trying to win a game. Does it give you any competitive advantage knowing their coaching staff and
as coaches, and they've been so good there for so long that their stuff's all over the country. It's clinic. It still goes back to just like we're building here. What we're going to do here, you can come watch, you can come listen to us talk about it, but to go out and replicate it's really the challenge. So is there an advantage? I don't think so. Iowa's going to line up. They're going to try and out physically from snap number one. And, they're going to get theirs. They're going to throw some. It's going to be a 4-quarter game, if not more. It's going to be a close football game, and they're comfortable in those. They're not in a panic. They play them a lot. And that is their MO, and that's what they like. And we're trying to build the same type of deal here. We want to get after people, physically. And so I'm excited about the test for our guys.
How much of your coaching philosophy did you learn when you were at Iowa?
I'd say almost, I wouldn't say learned it, but validated it, definitely validated it. With Dad as a high school football coach, he's out here this month, spending the month as a retired coach. I grew up around it, and that's all it was. It wasn't, we're not going to be the best very often, but to beat the best, you're going to have to out-tough them. And that was there, and the teaching of started with Coach Ferentz. It was Coach Philbin as a position player, who's gone on and had a great career coaching the same stuff. It's Reese Morgan, who I got a GA with and coached for 3 years. All three of those guys are some foundation guys, no doubt about it, of the way I am today.
Coach, when did you first know you wanted to be a coach? Do you remember when that moment was?
I think about it now because my son's in 6th grade, and I know at least in 2nd grade I can take you to the shed in El Dorado, Kansas, where I was running around at all the football camps and sleeping on pads. And Dad, we were joking about it at lunch yesterday. I fell asleep one day. They thought I was lost for a couple hours, and I was in the shed at the field. And so I've grown up around it. My grandpa's a Hall of Fame coach in Iowa in a high school association. So that's some other stuff that was fun for me way back then, just to go to Iowa. So I've been around it my whole life. That's probably known it my whole life.
How often do you talk to Coach Ferentz?
It's funny. The people out here still call him Ferentz. And in Iowa, over 17 years, they've learned it's Ferentz. But I talk to Coach probably 4 or 5 times a year. Whether it's to catch up, whether it's how you guys doing here, whether it's professionally. He's a guy that I lean on for advice. But as much as him, Chris Doyle, strength coach, is a guy that I hold in very high regard. He's a big mentor of mine. Brian, their O-line coach, the guy that I coached a little bit as a GA, so we have a very good relationship. LeVar Woods, we and I are captains together. Guys, I talk to him probably once a month, if not every other. So those guys, I'd be lying if I didn't say I talked to them a lot.
Coach Ash has talked about how they're a model program, that they do a lot with less. And,
100%.
Can you see that?
100%. And that is when you build something. This is my 4th stop of building. When you build it, you better be tough. That's you could be the most talented team in the country, and if your kids won't take a punch and throw one back, you don't stand a chance, especially in a league like this. So definitely a foundation. Our kids have to be tough and physical. It's why we practice how we do. It's why we train how we do. They've embraced it, the majority of them, but it's going to be put to the test this week.
You've did a lot of mixing and matching first 2 weeks. Are you solidified on your offensive line? You like the way they're progressing?
Love it. I just told Vince out there today, I said, right now, if our 2s could be a little more assignment-oriented, I'd play all of them because they might be more physical. And that's the fun part of the 10 guys we're rolling right now. And, we've rotated 1 or 2 guys into games, but, it's going to be interesting to see what the defense does. Last week was tough for me to put a 2nd guy in just as much as we were seeing. You get a team that's in the same place, and you got to find out who's going to go in there and move people now. That's the next 9 weeks, so it's go to work time.
Drew said Tariq had a key block on Rob Martin's touchdown. How much did he progress after, when you sat him down for a little bit on against Howard?
Tariq's every day he makes improvement. And he's a young player. in my opinion, just as being an offensive lineman. He had a big block. You know, my favorite block of the whole day that showed his progression, he was just backside. It wasn't a big factor, but he got his elbows in and he dumped a guy. It wasn't grab and hug and shuffle. And we do a lot of that right now. And that's why we're on the sleds. I'm not a sled guy, but until you learn to move people and drive, there's a physical aspect that goes with playing this game. So that's where we're at right now. Tariq made a big improvement. Dorian Miller's playing great. You know, we talk about every guy has a ceiling. It's our job as coaches to get him to that ceiling. And none of our 5 have reached that yet, so that's the fun for me.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks.
Thanks.